Good evening, Kevin.
Hi, everybody.
How are you doing?
Um, I'm good. I'm great. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I am April BB, and that's Kevin Well, and we are going to discuss episode 5 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Tatted Tales, I believe is what it was called. So
Yes.
the opening scene starts off with Dennis and Porsha at his Dennis's new hookah lounge called Crew.
Sorry.
Yeah, I hear you, honey. I hear you because he got all these businesses. He's such the entrepreneur. But so it's weird because they're meeting Portia's mother at a hookah lounge of all places.
I mean, well, what's
Like,
wrong with that?
well, okay. Me as a grown woman, I wouldn't bring my mom to a hookah lounge to meet the man that I'm interested in as my husband. I don't know. That's just not the kind of environment I would take a older woman. Just my thought, but
Okay.
what do I know? Because honey, Portia mama be looking like she dips it and does it, okay? I'm like,
Yeah, Porsche Mama is actually like very like she has like a yeah, she's very gorgeous.
she is. She's a very pretty older woman, and honey, I'm sure she can hang out with some of Dennis's friends.
Mm. Yeah.
But so share your sentiment with the whole Portia, her mama, and Dennis.
Well, I definitely think that I definitely think it warms her mother's heart the fact that Portia is like, pretty happy the fact that like she has found like a man of her dreams or whatever. But like at the same time, you know, she can be convinced all she wants, but I'm not convinced that this relationship is like 100% like as happy as Portia likes to make it out to be, even though I love Portia to death, but something about it is just really weird. And by weird, I mean like Dennis not really like something about him is just weird. Like I cannot, unless it's just me, like I just can't. And I know it's not my man, so of course it doesn't matter if I can get jiggy with him or not. But it's like something about him I can't get jiggy with. Like it's literally like it's like something about him. I don't know if it's because he doesn't talk too much about like or if he just doesn't convince me with his words.
Could it be that he's not a very attractive man?
No, because I mean, I think that even if he was an attractive man, like your actions and like your words, it's still not convincing. Like your whole energy is just not convincing. It's like kind of like I'm trying to get one over you, and I don't know. I'm starting to think that my girl Portia is getting one over on her.
Yeah, I think, well, I find myself using the same words that I use with Todd on Dennis. Uh, I think Dennis is an opportunist. Hold on 1 second. Let me close this door before this dog starts barking.
Oh, well,
Sorry.
um,
Sorry
you
about
know,
that. But
okay.
I think Dennis is an opportunist, but have we not heard that about Todd as well?
I mean, we have heard that about Todd, but like Todd is different than how Dennis is. Dennis is kind of like honestly, there's no way to describe it except for the energy that I get from him. The energy that I get from Dennis is like you're not really like you're not as passionate about this relationship as Portia is. Like I feel like Portia's more serious than you. Period.
Well, and here's the other thing. I think Portia's biological clock is ticking. She
Oh,
wants she wants that family, and I think she's willing to settle to some degree. Like I honestly feel like with Dennis, she lowered her standards. But also like the uber attractive man, which was Cordell, look at how that ended. So I think she's learning to kind of
Cordell.
adjust according to what she wants.
You said uber attractive.
Did I say uber attractive?
Yeah, you did.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean. I mean,
No, girl, you know what
Cordell is
she
not my
said.
cup of tea. But let me say this: Cordell's not my cup of tea. But people found him attractive. Like he's got a very nice body. He's in good shape. Um, I didn't mean to say Uber because no, not Uber. But I think if you look back, do you remember she dated a gentleman named Todd?
Porsha?
Uh huh.
Oh no, I don't
Yeah, so
remember.
she dated a guy named Todd. That was her last relationship before Dennis. And he was a nice looking man. He wasn't serious about life, and I don't think he had a lot of direction. So that relationship fizzled.
Mm.
So and he was swirly looking like he could have been mixed with something. But
Oh yeah, I think I remember him
oh,
now.
okay, okay. So I don't the physical attraction level for Porsha, I don't think is there with Dennis. But I think she's feeling like, could he provide for me? Could he do this for me? And could he be a good father? I think those are the things she's looking at. But she also has blinders on to some degree because, her homegirl Kandi been putting stuff out in the streets about Dennis.
Yeah, I mean, a part of me feels like it's a little bit like production based, and then another part is like it's like it's more authentic than like fake. I think it's like 50-50. I would actually love to see like the writing process for like some of these reality shows, because sometimes you can't really tell like where like these like boundaries are between like real reality and like fakeness, basically, you know?
So, do you think the relationship between Portia and Dennis is fake?
I kind of feel like at first I kind of felt like it, but then when she got pregnant, I was just like, oh, like they're serious.
Yeah, and that's a serious thing to bring a child into the world. So, you know, do I think their relationship is fake? No. Do I think Portia's a good actress at laying it on thick? Yes.
Hmm.
I think she wants to hype her man up, and he really doesn't bring as much as she says to the table. Let me say that. Does
Yeah,
that make sense?
yeah, it does. It does. I mean, I guess we're just gonna have to see as far as like the relationship, but like, I don't know. I'm not really sold on it, and also like, I'm not a fan of the relationship, to be honest. Like,
I'm not either, but now they got a whole baby on the way. So
hmm, congratulations.
let me say this. Do I feel like Dennis makes Portia a better woman? No. Do I think Kenya's husband makes her a better woman? Yes. So
Okay.
does that make sense?
No.
It doesn't. Well, I think Kenya's husband is very mature, very sophisticated, and grown. He can handle a strong woman and navigate her to see the errors of her ways without her feeling some kind of way. And that's
Mm.
why we saw a change in Kenya. I don't think Dennis possesses the same things for Portia to show her the error of some of her ways because she's been independent for a while now. So who's going to navigate her, Nene?
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So I don't think he could lend Portia sound advice when she's in a bind.
Alrighty. Well, what was the next scene after that?
The next scene after that, I believe, was the ladies meet up for lunch. It's Nene, Cynthia, Kandi, and Marlo, and the topic of discussion was Portia, Portia, Portia.
Yes, because Candy loves Portia. I mean, who doesn't?
You love Portia too, but I mean, I think that's what women do behind a friend's back, like they talk about the dude or whatever, especially if he's got a shady character or whatever. I If I was Kandi, I wouldn't have told that circle of women anything. Like that circle of women is not Kandi's trust circle. Well, whoever her trust circle is, Carmen,
Hmm.
Donna Juan,
Yes.
Todd, that's who she needs to give that information to.
Mm.
She gave it to a bunch of messy women um, that need a storyline. So you knew that that was going to go somewhere. I, I don't see that ending well for Kandi or
Yeah,
Porsha.
it's definitely it's definitely an opportunity for like another like drama to like spin off or whatever. And
Yeah,
that was a perfect moment. And I also feel like I can't believe like Nene actually told Portia. Like, Nene, she talk a good talk because I'm like, I kind of believe you when you say you didn't tell her because you seem like somebody who can hold your water, right? Because that's the
right.
term that Kenya was using last season or whatever. I just learned that, but I'm very shook and disappointed at the fact that Nene actually told. But
I'm
so
disappointed in her as her being the older woman.
what you mean?
Nene, the oldest up in that clique and crew, and you gonna spread rumors around that's gonna drive a wedge between two women that already had issues. That's not cool.
Um, that is to be determined. I mean, I guess it in your book. Because in my book, I can understand where she comes from because she is very, 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 very appreciative of the friendship that her and Portia has together. And if she hears something that is in regards to her man and infidelity might occurring in that relationship that they're forming, and you
Hmm.
are the best friend and you happen to hear this news, then
Hmm.
I can understand why Nini would tell her that in confidence or tell her at all, period. I think it was with good intentions, and I don't think that it was irresponsible or inconsiderate in any way, shape, or form, to be honest. The only person that probably would even get in the hot seat, or I guess should be in the hot seat, if I had to choose, it would be Kandi. But at the same time, I don't think, now that I think about it, I think that Kandi, it was 50-50. I think it was 50-50, like, let me see what kind of man she dated. And then on the other hand, it's like, damn, like she's really about to get serious with this guy. Like maybe she should know. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, I would really love to like be a part of this production team to just see like what's reality and what's not. Because
Yeah.
it feels like it's 50-50 with a lot of what's going on in this particular plot.
Well, let me say this: Nene and Portia renewed friendship is only one season old. Remember, Nene decided to squash the beef while they were on vacation. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Portia has turned over a new leaf. Part of it could be because of this man. I don't know. I think Nene needs to worry about Greg, needs to worry about her sons. I don't think she should have gave him that. Now, production wise, they probably said, "Oh, give us the tea, give us the tea." Now, I
Mm-hmm.
could see it for reality TV purposes, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel like that. I feel like you're an elder. You're supposed to, yeah.
What is she supposed to do? Like not tell Portia, even though like
That's not her place to tell. If Portia want to love on a hot dog eating, several tattoo having man that spreads his love around ATL, so be it.
okay. Well,
Think, I mean, think about it. Those women got something to say about every man on that show. Every man. Peter was a hoe. Remember that? Uh, the one before Kenya married this one, I can't remember his name. He was crazy. Uh, Todd had issues too. Everybody kept calling him an opportunist. Paulo was a criminal. Then he started being a cheating criminal. So I mean,
You said cheating criminal.
yeah, and here's the other thing. They even messed up Nene's relationship with Greg. They got a divorce because of all of the malicious rumors, lies, and gossip. Now,
Mhm.
they were able to remarry and repair that, but not everybody's able to do that.
Okay. Um,
So, yeah. So, you want to go
all
on to the
I,
next?
all I have to say is like, if I'm dating someone and you happen to hear in the streets that the man that I'm with is he has like he has tattoos of other girls on his back and like he's still in cahoots with his previous exes like and you hear that and you're my friend, I would greatly appreciate that. I honestly wouldn't even look at you as being messy.
That's because I would be your friend, not your associate.
You think
Like
Nene
I
and
said,
Porsha are
Nene's
associates?
relationship is no different than Kandi. Go back and check a couple of seasons ago. Nene basically insinuated that Porsha needed to be fired. So they're not new. They're not long time key. They not like that. Mm-mm.
Nene and Porsha?
Yeah, Nene and Porsha.
I beg to differ
You
because
know what? Use that Hulu account and look at the old episodes.
yeah, because I mean, even Nene and Portia, they used to talk about in the previous season that they have been through thick and thin with a lot of things, and I think like even with the divorce of Cordell Stewart, like Nene was really with her um,
Mm-hmm.
through that healing moment for Portia because that was a huge breakup for her, and
Yeah.
and you know another thing about it, like I'm really proud to see Portia grow in such a dynamic way and just be that grown woman that she is today. Like it's really refreshing, and I think that like she absolutely deserves it. Like Portia's like a little sister. Like
Well, I agree with Portia's growth. And let me say this: if I was in that circle and I knew something about Portia's man, I wouldn't give it to her because I think part of her growth has come from her ability to want to love again. And
mm-hmm,
Cordell
mm-hmm.
left her in such a bad place. She was angry. She was fighting all the time. So I wouldn't want to see that side of her again as a friend. I would keep my eye on Dennis for her. But if my friend is happy, I'm not trying to steal her joy. I'm gonna make, but I'll be like, I'm gonna check him on the cool and be like, I'm watching you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
Mm-hmm.
saying. So
So what was the
anyway,
next thing?
Eva the diva and her mama, they go wedding shopping, honey, and that
Yeah.
mama got a lot to say.
Mm-hmm. Um
Mhm.
yeah, I didn't know how to feel about that one. I was like, yeah, her mother, like that whole situation is just like it's like another typical situation of where like the parent wants to live their life through their child.
Yeah,
And it's really
I agree.
sad and inconsiderate, the fact that like she's doing that. But then the next question that has to be asked is like, is she even aware that she's doing this very toxic thing? Because it is very toxic. Because
I
then it
don't.
also made me think because it was like Eva was like, I'm doing this because of her or something like that at one point, and how she said that she just wants to do the elope process more than an actual wedding.
Right.
So if that's the
Well,
case, that's you don't think that's pretty toxic?
well, it takes me back to the broken person that was on America's Not Next Top Model, and I can see a lot of Eva's nastiness coming through her mother. So her mom basically kind of bullies her. So the mama has what she said, three
Mm.
boys and one girl. Eva's it. So her mother's very controlling. From what I see, very bossy and opinionated.
Hmm.
And she wants to live through Eva. So I don't think her mother sees what she's doing. I think she's used to being a shot caller and a boss. So
Yes.
it's
Mm-hmm.
just part of her makeup. Because even, and this is the other scene, but even when they go out to lunch and Eva starts crying, she shuts that down. Like, she won't even allow Eva to feel her emotions. She's like, oh, we're not going to do this. Mm-mm.
She said that.
She sure did. She sure did. She's like, we are not about to do this. And then Eva's over there trying to suck it up and like dot her I. And then she's like, oh, excuse me, I gotta go to the bathroom. She couldn't get
Yeah.
her
But I
emotions.
think she started crying after she said, "Oh, we're not about to do this."
She did.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what I'm saying. So they were going back and forth about the wedding, and basically it's really Eva's mama's wedding, and she was like, "Well, I got people I want to invite," and Eva's trying to explain to her like, "Mom, it costs more than just $100 per person," and
mhm.
she was like, "Well, I got friends," and that's just accolades for her mother. Like she's like, "Look, I raised this child. Look what she's become. Look how great I am for creating this." That's all that was.
Mhm.
And that, she's that corporate type. So she's used to probably controlling her emotions and being
Yes.
very controlled and level headed. And she's like, snap Eva right on down, like, oh, we're not about to do this.
Yeah. You know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about when she was like $60. She was like $60,000. That's my Jeep.
Yeah. Girl, child, we would have been at Dave's bridal getting $1,000 wedding dress. Leave it to me. And I
Um.
kind of agree with it. Go low. Because really, the wedding is about everybody else. And you're seeing that from the mother, because the mother's like, "Oh, I don't like this." She don't like not a dress.
Mhm. I mean, and you see moments like that. I really be thinking like, is that really like how she is for real, or is that like scripted?
They have executive producers for a reason, so who knows? I
Like,
would hope not, but it was interesting to see her mother. Period.
yeah, it was. It was.
I've
Um.
never seen her mother on anything before, and she doesn't look how I thought she would look.
Hmm. Hmm.
I wonder. I wondered a lot about a lot of things. I'm like, did she dye her hair, or is that natural?
Well, what's the next scene, April?
Ronnie and Shamari, they at home with them twins, and
Yes. And you
they're
know,
talking.
okay, I had a question about that scene because I was like, okay. So she's telling him about the open relationship that they've had before. All right, cool. And he's like, well, not everything has to be told. Okay, understood.
Mhm.
However, during a point of that time of that conversation, there was like a very somber, like disappointing energy about their conversation where he was just like kind of it was kind of awkward, and I'm like, why is that such an awkward thing if that was something where it was mutually consented that this would be an open relationship? You guys both know the history. She's open about talking about it, and you're kind of like, let's not talk about it, blah, blah, blah. It's y'all relationship history. Why are you so ashamed? What's going on?
See,
Unless
I think
you've
there's
done
a
some
couple of
things that
things.
you're ashamed
Ronnie,
of.
I think Ronnie has this image, right? And I also feel like Ronnie has these old school value systems where it's okay for a man to cheat, but not okay for a woman to cheat. So I believe he was frolicking, having affairs, what have you. He got a younger girl, Shamari, and he was cheating on her. Now she wasn't happy about that, so I guess as she claimed, she was bi curious, right? So I did a little digging And the person she was in a relationship with allegedly is Missy Elliott.
Okay.
So from what I heard on one of the blogs, and I'll find it and post the link in this video, but um she was getting very serious about Missy.
Mm,
So
it's more
I
money.
think that caused some pain on Ron's part. Like he didn't like it. And if she probably gave him an ultimatum, like, look, I'm either gonna go this way with her, or we're gonna have to lock this down where we have a close relationship because that's really what I require. Because an open relationship, I think she did that because he was cheating and gave her opportunities to move around and do something new. But one of the stipulations was she couldn't date a man. So
It's
bi curious is
going through
one thing,
double standard.
being,
It's really
huh?
it's double standard. It's like
Of
it's
course.
typical like misogynistic double standards. It's very, 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 very like it's so freaking sad. But now that I think about it, she probably should have stayed with Missy Elliott. It'd have been more money anyways, to be honest.
Did you see their house?
Listen, I don't like to judge people's houses.
No, but did you see their house? I didn't judge. I said, did you see it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, and they're not to that level yet. You know what I mean? Like they're still. I think the Real Housewives of Atlanta will take Shamari there if she can, if she can. Like with Eva, she got other streams of income. So think about it. Every woman that starts the show, they don't walk into grand houses because Cynthia was in a basic tri-level house in ATL, and back then it might have cost $200,000 or $300,000. So you can see each woman's growth on that show. So what that showed me is like Ronnie's not balling out of control like that, which I kind of knew because he was trying to sell real estate at one point in time. But I think they're both hoping that this show takes Shamari to that next level.
Okay, so
Where
you think it's like a business move between the both of them?
of course, of course.
I guess so. I mean, I just really feel for Shamari because I feel like she's a sweetie, like she's a sweetheart, and I feel like she can take it there, like as far as like getting messy and stuff like that. But I feel like she's not as she's not what I thought, like a firecracker that I would have thought that she would have been.
Well, I don't think we've seen the worst of Shamari yet. Right now, I think they're trying to build up for us to get to know her. Um, we'll see. But I mean, I hope it works for her because I can definitely see them using this as a platform to grow. And you think about everybody that stayed with Real Housewives of Atlanta from where they started to today, even including Kandi, is way further, much, much further along. So I hope it works for her.
Yeah, definitely, and it's going to because the contract has already been signed and they've already begun the filming process and things like that. So
For what? The next season?
no, for this season, I mean, she's already getting paid for this season, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But will she have a peach next year is the question. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm,
I
I
mean, I
wonder.
think it's early right now in the season to tell, but I'll give you an example of a one hitter. Uh Claudia Jordan, she was there for one season. Kim Fields, only there for one season. They didn't get that opportunity for their for them to jump to the next level. I think for Kim, she wasn't willing to go where the production was taking her. Um, and Claudia, I don't know, something about her energy just not me.
Who's Claudia?
And Claudia, she was on there for one season. She didn't last long.
Oh, okay.
Claudia Jordan, actually, her and Porsha both worked at Dish Nation, and what they did was Claudia did the radio segment with Ricky Smiley, and then the actual filming process was done with Porsha.
Okay. So what was the next scene?
Let's see. So after they go over that, then it's back to Eva and her mom having lunch, which we briefly touched on and how that turned out.
Yes.
Um, and then after that, they go to Nene and Greg's house, and Greg receives bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a sad scene. Basically, they still found cancerous cells in the test that they ran at the cancer research center.
It is
And
very
then
sad.
Greg doesn't want to do chemo, but that's what they're recommending.
Mm.
Yeah.
I know it's very sad news to be honest. And like when I had seen Nene like sitting there, I was like I just know like she just felt exhausted, tired, like just very sad. And also of
Yeah.
course Greg as well. But like it was just like it's a very sad like scene. But I'm really, 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 really glad that he got the message to go vegan, to go natural as far as natural as possible to eat his foods because eating a very natural vegan kind of diet, it can
Hmm.
really, really, really change the body. And a lot of people know that, and a lot of people don't know that. So it's like, and it really sucks the fact that it has to come through the form of him finding out that he has cancer. But it's like you never know if that can really freaking help. To be honest.
I hope it helps.
Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. With him doing that with his diet,
Hmm.
something's gonna change in a positive way, without a doubt.
I need to eat better. I need to go vegan
Yeah.
and get away from sugar. Sugar actually is not good for you, and it has been shown that cancer can thrive off of sugar.
Yes. Which is why sugar is embedded into everything. As we all know, it is a part of a really, 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 really simple yet dynamic agenda. And that's why it's very important for everyone to raise their consciousness and not succumb to the food systems that is very prevalent, the very unhealthy food system that's very prevalent is what I'm trying to say. So it's very important to educate educate yourself about that, and
Hmm.
just really do your research on like the power of food, because I mean that's where a lot of these illnesses and sicknesses come from. It's
Yeah.
fake sugar specifically.
Yeah. Yep. Fake sugar. So we're back at Shamari's house, and now they're ready. It's the twins' birthday. They invite several of the housewives. Porsha throws shade, I guess, in a way, and says she's not coming. Nene didn't come. Marlo brings a little boy with shades on. I don't know who that child was.
That's her nephew.
Okay. And then Kandi and Todd show up with Ace. And then Eva comes with her daughter, I believe. I don't think she brought the baby.
Well, can I just say that I'm very, 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 very proud of Marlo. I love when Marlo is like chill. Like I like when Marlo is just like she's just chill. Like she just like she'll have her shady moments. But I really appreciate seeing Marlo. Like I like her. Like I really like her. Like I don't think I not like her. Like I like her. Like I don't know. I guess it's just refreshing to see her. And I don't know. I just really like to see her and her fabulousness. I think that is something that really resonates with me. And the party, I think it was really sweet. I think all of that was really sweet. I didn't know that her husband was like such a punctual guy though. That was, very interesting to see.
The thing, it's funny you mentioned Marlo And I'm gonna tell you when I thought about Marlo, when they all went out to lunch, and I felt like Marlo brings more to the table than Cynthia.
Oh, definitely, for sure,
And I
for
don't
sure.
know why Cynthia has a peach. Like,
Yeah, I've
and,
always
and
wondered
this
that
is the thought I
too.
had just tonight while I was watching. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there and I'm looking and I'm just like, Marlo needs a doggone peach.
Yeah, I
Strip
think so
Cynthia of
too.
her peach because Cynthia, I'm not interested in her dude. I'm just not interested in her.
Yeah, I know. Cynthia's very, she can be very boring to be honest. And it's like, I mean, I think they still give her a peach because like she's just a long-standing cast member at this point. Like, because if we're talking about substance, Marlo has more substance to Cynthia. However, Marlo doesn't get more airtime than Cynthia does. But I feel like if they were to give Marlo more airtime, people would really want to see Marlo or enjoy Marlo being on seasons to come. But I feel like I don't know if Marlo even like if she wants the cameras to really see her personal life like that.
I think with Marlo, I definitely think she's probably a bit much. Because Kandi tried to work with her and have her on some reality show she was working on, and she had these crazy demands and things like that. I have
Mm-hmm.
always been interested in Marlo because she's a fashion hog. Like she decorates her home nice, and she's in a townhouse just like what Kim was in. Kim Zolciak was in when she first started. But baby, that closet is everything. That closet is like a mall. I just when I saw that, I was just like, oh, I gotta follow that. Like I follow her on Instagram. She does it for me. Now, do I think she has anything beyond the fashion part? I don't know because the running joke for seasons was, well, what does Marlo do for a living? And they
Mm-hmm.
always joke basically that you know she was a lady of the night, kind of like she dated older rich men that have money, but
Okay.
that's kind of how she came into her money. I would like to see more of Marlo's personal life, Marlo's circle of friends, but I don't think we'll ever get that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I think that she doesn't allow that to happen. Like I think she really does not allow that to happen to be honest. And I know that quite some time I was watching a psychic reading YouTube video on Marlo Hampton, and I know that it was they were talking about like her having like financial debt and stuff like that she has to pay off. So I was thinking maybe like that could be one of the factors as far as like why she doesn't want the cameras to go like too deep into her life because she's probably like trying to get this paycheck to pay off debt. Like, and it's just
Right.
like it would be kind of like not stupid, but it's just like what are y'all gonna see? Like the main point of me being on the show is so that I can pay off my debt. Like so y'all can't dig deeper into my life and see like the debt that I'm trying to pay off.
And see, I
Like
kind of think that it's part of the problem too is the whole shade about where her money comes from, and then her shady past. She's been arrested 7 times,
what was she
and
arrested for?
I can't quite remember, but Wendy Williams hung up like a picture, all of her mug shots, like each one. And I'll find the link. I'll post it below. I honestly don't recall what she was arrested for.
You know what's crazy is the fact that Wendy Williams and Marlo Hampton would actually get along with each other. I feel like they could be really good friends. Like I feel like they would understand each other's shade and still have that like air to like differentiate like shade from like really like throwing like actual shade and like taking that shit to heart. Like no, bitch, you're serious. Like I feel like they both have that thing where they can like filter it like that.
Well,
Um,
Wendy Williams and Nene Leakes fell out. So
they were
I
friends.
yeah, they were friends. They fell out. And I feel like Wendy Williams is scripted shade. Like she has comedians and stuff write for her. And if you're a
Hmm.
little too witty, I think there'll be some fallout. I don't know.
Interesting. Well, I need to do my research on Nene Leakes and Wendy Williams being friends because I would have never thought something like that would happen in a million years.
Can you see that, Kevin? Can you
No, I
see
really
her?
can't. I cannot
You,
see Nene Leakes
no,
and
I mean what I'm holding up to the screen. Can you see Marlo's mugshots?
oh, yeah, I
Can
do
you
see
see?
it.
Okay. I'll have to look at what happened, but just throughout her lifetime, you can tell she was a younger woman when some of these were taken.
Hmm.
Let me see what the receipts say. She says that she compares her arrest to mental illness. Okay. Several arrests for crimes like aggravated battery, possession of a firearm. That's it. That's all they say. They don't go into any other detail. So there you have it. Um, Back to the episode. So Kandi meets up with Don Juan and Todd at Candy Coated Studios. Now, before we discuss that scene, didn't you find it interesting? Maybe I'm just paying closer attention to things, but where is Candy Coated Studio located? Do
Um, no, but I mean, if it's a studio, then I mean, it's probably something that's like ducked off, but it's still like near a main street. From what I've seen, like with like the cut scenes, like during the daytime, it seemed like it was off of like a really popular main street. So I don't know why.
it just looked kind of offbeat. It like an underdeveloped area basically. But
Really?
yeah, and the funny thing is, I don't know if you recall Candy's wedding. It was in a rural, like a very country like area. Like it was so well decorated inside the venue. You never paid attention to what was outside, but the only reason we saw the outside was during the planning process. And so when I saw the outside, I was like, "Oh, okay." It just, you forget this is based in the South. Me and my city slicker visions, I see things differently. So when I see the inside of a place, I kind of envision like this chic downtown type of environment.
Um, yeah, maybe you were paying attention a little bit too hard. I personally don't mind nor care where she puts the location of her studio. However, I mean, from seeing what I've seen, it definitely seems like something that would be found like near Peter Street area, like kind of like off like a main road, like a studio, like and it's like it's not ducked off. Sorry, I correct my terminology. More
Uh-huh.
more like a discreet entrance kind of location, more than anything. But I mean, hey, if it's a studio, it's a studio, and I like it. And I don't even think it's like a studio for like recording. I think it's more like a studio to like get things done. So like more like an office, but it is a studio in essence, or they call it a studio. But I mean, hey, whatever works for your
Hey,
productivity.
it's working for her, but they all meet up there, Todd and Don Juan, to discuss this whole Porsche fiasco. And someone basically she confides in Don Juan and Todd that someone told Porsche what she said,
Hmm.
and she's asking their opinion, their advice on what she should do. She should have asked that long ago, but she did ask Todd once before, and he told her, "Mind your business."
Um, I think he's 50-50 on the mind your business part. I think he's 50-50 because he personally does not like Portia. He's not very fond of Portia. And I feel like he can be someone who is very petty. And I feel like sometimes he doesn't even like realize that he's being super petty. So I feel
Mhm.
like 50% of the reason why he told Kandi to mind her business is because for petty reasons, and the other 50% is genuine advice because he was right. She's not going to be very receptive towards Kandi like opinion towards anything, especially not towards her man. So that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like it was 50-50 with him. But as far as Todd, I think Todd doesn't really want his wife in drama like that sometimes. But
Right.
it's just like she's so solid on being on the show and she's such a solid character and figure on the show. I think it's just kind of like something that they just gotta like it
They
like
got to put her through it. She got to have some drama.
yeah, but I don't think it's anything ever like really, really bad. Like that really like fucks up the relationship or anything like that. But I definitely think like it's something like we have our own empires outside of Real Housewives, but I mean, I guess we can like just hang in there for the bags, but whatever.
Well, I think it's good marketing for all their businesses.
Oh hell yeah! Because I guarantee you, if they were not on the Real Housewives, Old Lady Gang probably honestly would have flopped because a lot of the audience and that platform that they have with their businesses, a large portion of them comes from the visibility that they have on this Bravo television network show.
Agreed.
So it is a business move from Kanye's perspective and also Todd's perspective as well. But you know, it makes me think like, how long is this show gonna go on?
You know, the Real Housewives of Orange County was the first show of its kind. It started the entire franchise. And the Real Housewives of OC is boring to me now. Like I feel like they need to cancel Christmas on that show, but they're not. Who knows? Me personally, I'll probably check out in the next 2 to 3 years. I mean, they're going to have to revamp the cast. They're going to have to redo something. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, how long will you tune in?
Um, as long as Porsha's there, as long as it's, I'm honestly, I probably will continue. I mean, I don't know. It depends on what mood I'm in. Okay, April.
So, Real Housewives of Orange County is in its 13th season.
Mm-hmm.
Real Housewives of Atlanta is in its 11th season.
Mm-hmm.
I I say, I mean, OC should have been killed off, so, but they won't do that. Um, Atlanta is one of their top money makers for Bravo, so they might go to season 20 if if they can get the right women in place. But I think Nene will stick around as long as they'll let her.
Mm-hmm.
Candy will probably stick around as long as they let her.
Mm-hmm.
Cynthia, I see a short lifespan for her. Portia, if it gets too much for her and Dennis, I could see her leaving that show. I could see her scaling back like Kenya did if it got to be too much.
Okay. So what's the next scene, April?
The next scene is the last scene where they go wine tasting, and Portia and Kandi are the first to arrive.
Right. Yes, and I definitely feel like Kandi sensed the awkwardness of it all, and I definitely think that Portia, she wanted to, she wanted to,
Cuss out Kandi.
huh?
She wanted to cuss out Kandi.
A little bit, but I also think that she also wanted to genuinely be shady, and I mean, it's like I rarely see Portia upset, like like upset like that. So it was very weird for me to see her like that. But like I was just like, damn, like I wonder what's going on. Cause like she has like so much passive aggressiveness going on at this little coffee table. Like I was just like, okay. But Sorry, I'm thinking about Cynthia and Marlo talking about Cynthia dressing like a dressing masculine.
Well, my whole thing about that whole exchange was I'm glad that Portia's in a different place to not be so reactionary. Like she was in her feelings, but she wasn't aggressive. Like the old Portia would have just, you tried to do this to me, you tried to do that to me. She just, give it to her. But I
Yes.
think I think Portia's so in love with Dennis right now. She's in a better place. And I mean, it's good that Kandi kind of confronted the issue head on and said, look, let's address this elephant in the room. So I know Nene went back and told you, because I mean, she
Mm-hmm.
did say it. It ain't like Kandi didn't say it, but
Mm-hmm.
that's why if I were Kandi, I would have never said it. You leave that between you, Don Juan, and Todd. Don't tell them people nothing.
I mean, like I said before, I definitely feel like it was 50% wanting to genuinely let her know and a 50% production. Because if it wasn't for production on this part, they would not even have like in this episode period, because that was majority of this episode. And it also seemed like it's going to be majority of this season to begin with, at least the beginning part of the season. But I am looking forward to this couples trip that they just so happen to plan together. Anytime they go on a trip anywhere, it's
Who's
like,
going on this trip?
huh?
Who's going on this couples trip?
Everybody, I guess. Like, I would assume everybody and their husband.
Mm.
I mean, but my thing is like, anytime they plan a trip, it's just like, okay, so we should be expecting like some kind of drama, or we should be expecting somebody to stir the pot. But I don't know who that girl was that I went to school with Eva. You saw that clip?
No, I didn't. I didn't. Well, I checked out as soon as I finished watching it. I didn't see what was coming next week.
Oh yeah, it was in the preview. Like they have like a couple ship that's happening, and like supposedly some girl is like just very like rah, and like she's gonna be like getting into like an argument or something like that, or not an argument, but more so like kind of being very snappy with her words, whatever. And I think she's
Was she light skinned?
yeah, she's light skinned.
I thought that was Nene's friend.
No, that's not Nene's friend. Nah, Nene's friend.
The one you like.
Yeah,
The one you like. Oh, I like her.
yeah, Nene's friend is someone else.
Okay.
Yeah, Nene's friend is someone else. But yeah, so that's conversation.
Why are you smiling? What are you smiling for? Are you drunk?
Yeah, I'm drunk off of water.
Me
Okay.
too. Kroger water.
Um, I'm going to um go to sleep right after this live, girl. I'm not even gonna lie.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's been a very long day. So I'm just so ready to like continue to edit my videos for my Vlogmas and
Yeah.
continue to love my subscribers, to love my future subscribers, to continue to inspire and teach and help all of us grow together and just live life as beautiful as possible. And I'm really excited for the content that I'm going to be posting with my channel, basically. And it's my first time doing all of this stuff,
Hmm.
but I'm proud of myself for even doing all of this stuff because I mean, I'm telling you, like for years, like literally people have just been telling me to do YouTube, to like do vlogs, to like do videos basically and just put myself out there. So, I'm just giving it a chance and just yeah, all of that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really proud of myself. Do
Well,
you
I'm proud of you too because you used to push me all the time because that was my vision to do YouTube. And you're my biggest cheerleader. And now we're going through our first Vlogmas together. So I think that's
ah,
cool.
yes. Well, I'm very proud of you, April. Do you have any announcements for your channel?
Let's see. Look out for a video to come out every day. Today is day 2 of Vlogmas. Today there's 2 videos: the cocktails and conversation, and then another one, another vlog from earlier today. My videos will launch. I was going to do 7 a.m. every day. My videos, my content will be out at noon every day, Central Standard Time.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for listening to our conversations and our thoughts and understandings, our dynamic understandings on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Georgia. Be sure to leave a comment, like, subscribe, or
Hit that bell
even,
notification.
yeah, all of that good stuff. And we'll catch you guys next Sunday. Okay?
Yes, we will. Have a good one, everyone. We're signing off.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.